Hey there. In this video, we're going to be going over practice set number 2 for the paragraph location question. This question comes from the Cambridge IELTS book number 9, test number 3, reading passage number 3. The title of this reading passage is Information Theory, the Big Idea. Now let us come down to our questions. You might notice that we have some keywords here that are already highlighted. I'll get to that in just a second. Now over here we have our 6 questions. The question says which paragraph contains the following information, and we have to use these 6 paragraphs from A through F as our answer choices. Now I've already gone ahead and marked the keywords here. So for question number 27, I've marked the factors that are affecting the transmission of information. That's what we are looking for. So remember, in paragraph location questions, we are looking for very specific information. So here we are looking for the specific factors that are affecting the transmission of information. For question number 28, we are looking at an example of how unnecessary information can be omitted. So unnecessary information is going to be a keyword, and omitted. Omitted means to remove. For question number 29, I've marked Shannon and Shannon's attitude to fame. That's what we are looking for. For question number 30, we are looking for the details of a machine that is capable of interpreting incomplete information. So machine is a keyword, and interpreting incomplete information. For question number 31, we are looking for a detailed account of an incident involving information theory. An incident is something that is unexpected, that you don't expect to happen, and usually it's something bad, something negative. An event that is negative or unexpected. For question number 32, we have marked Shannon. Shannon is our keyword, is a proper noun, so we are looking for a reference to what Shannon initially intended to achieve in his research. So what were Shannon's initial intentions with his research? So those are the keywords that I've marked, and you should already know by now that when we are answering the paragraph location questions, what we have to do is we have to mark the keywords for these questions and then leave them alone, and then go ahead and do the easy questions first. So in this question set, I'm assuming that I've already answered my easy questions first, and now I'm returning back to these questions at the end after having already answered all the questions from my reading passage 3, having already answered all the easy questions first. So since I'm assuming that I've already answered the easy questions first, I have marked some keywords here. The proper noun Shannon, I've went ahead and marked that so that you can see how we already have access to certain information from answering the easy questions first. Typically speaking, when you return to these difficult questions after having answered the easy questions first, you should be able to answer most of the difficult questions. Especially with paragraph location questions, you should be able to answer most of them right away, because you will already be familiar with these keywords, with the content, and with the information in each one of these paragraphs. So generally speaking, this should not take you a very long time, and these should not really be that difficult. So in these questions, we are assuming that we have already found some keywords related to the keyword Shannon. So we're going to start off by looking for the answers to question number 29 and number 32, because both of these questions have the keyword Shannon in them. Alright, so now when I go ahead and I start to scan my paragraphs and I start to scan the area around the keyword Shannon, I'm going to be looking for 2 pieces of information. First, I'm going to be looking for Shannon's attitude to fame. Okay, that's one of the things I'm looking for. The other thing that I'm looking for is Shannon's initial intentions. What did Shannon initially intend to achieve in his research? So I'm looking for these 2 things. Depending on whichever one I find first, I'm going to be answering that question first. So here we go. We are going to be looking for attitude to fame and initial intentions. So I am going to start from over here since this is where the keyword first appears. Okay, there you go. So here we have the keyword acclaim. Acclaim means to praise or to recognize someone's accomplishments. So this is talking about fame. This is a synonym word for fame. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that here. And let's go ahead and read this sentence. It says, while at Bell Laboratories, Shannon developed information theory but shunned the resulting acclaim. So to shun means to avoid or to ignore or to reject something, okay? Mainly to reject something. So Shannon rejected the resulting acclaim, the praise, the fame. He didn't want it. So here, question number 29 is talking about a reference to Shannon's attitude to fame. Okay, so the answer for question number 29 is going to be B. We already know now Shannon's attitude to fame, which was that he didn't want it, he rejected it. I'm going to go ahead and put a cross next to this paragraph B, just so we know that we've already used this paragraph, so then we don't have to scan this paragraph again when we are looking for our other keywords. Great. Now I'm going to keep scanning around the keyword Shannon in the remaining paragraphs because I'm still looking for that other piece of information. I'm still looking for Shannon's initial intentions with his research. So let's see if we can find that. Okay, here it has the word originally. Okay, originally is or could be a synonym for initially, something that happened in the beginning. Okay, now here it says he set out to do something. Again, this is talking about the beginning. It's talking about when he began his work, when he began at the age of 22 years. So it seems to be talking about that other piece of information that we are looking for. So let's go ahead and read it. We can just start up here. This all seems light years away from the down-to-earth uses Shannon originally had for his work, which began when he was a 22-year-old graduate engineering student at the prestigious MIT in 1939. He set out with an apparently simple aim to pin down the precise meaning of the concept of information. So that is what he set out to do. It talks here about his initial intentions. What were his original intentions that he had for his work when he began this work? So that is going to be our answer for this other question that we were looking for, which was down over here. Question number 32. That is going to be C. Okay, so we've already found the answers to B and C. Let us go ahead and move on to our other questions next. Now over here, I don't really see any other great keywords. I mean, I don't really have any proper nouns, names of people, places, or numbers, or dates, or anything like that. So they all seem pretty even in terms of their level of difficulty. It seems that all of them will take pretty much the same amount of time to find in the passage. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start going through each paragraph one by one, and then once I've looked at the paragraph, then I will try to figure out which question that paragraph is the best answer choice for. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because we only have 6 paragraphs in this entire reading passage and we have 6 questions. So that means that each and every paragraph in this reading passage is going to be an answer choice. Okay, so all the paragraphs are going to be used as an answer choice. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a second look here at my keywords, and I'm going to have these keywords in the back of my mind so that I can see which information correlates with which paragraph. So I'm looking for factors affecting the transmission of information. I'm also looking for an example of how unnecessary information can be removed. Next, I am looking for a machine that can interpret incomplete information, some sort of a machine. Then, finally, I'm looking for an incident, something negative that happened regarding information theory. So those are the keywords that I'm going to have in the back of my mind as I go about scanning each paragraph one by one. Here we go. We're going to start off with paragraph A. Okay, now over here I see the word failing. Here it talks about how the probe was beginning to show its age. And it's talking about failing parts. So what do you think this relates to? Something that is failing parts. Which question do you think that this information relates to? Can you guess? It relates to an incident involving information theory, because an incident is something unexpected. You don't expect it to happen, but it still happens. It's an event that happens, and it's something negative. So I think that A is going to be the answer for question number 31. Let's go ahead and double check, and let's go ahead and read this area where it talks about the failing parts. It says, sensors and circuits were on the brink of failing, and NASA experts realized that they had to do something or lose contact with their probe forever. So it's talking about how the parts are failing and NASA has to do something about it in order to resolve this problem. So that is an event. That right there is an event that happened. So let's put a cross next to that since we've already used this answer choice, and let us put that answer choice for question number 31. Great. Now let us move on to our next paragraph. We'll skip B. We'll also skip C since we've already used those. Let us move on to D. Okay, over here it's talking about how noise sets a limit on the rate of information that can pass along. Basically, it's talking about how noise can limit information and it can limit communication. Okay? Now, what do you think that correlates to? Which question do you think? It's talking about 27. An explanation of the factors affecting the transmission of information. Transmission is synonym language for communication. So it's asking us for the factors that affect transmission of information or that can influence communication. What can influence communication? What can change it? Here it's talking about how noise and unwanted sounds can interfere with information. It's talking about how noise can set a limit at the rate at which information passes along. So let's go ahead and read these two sentences just to confirm that this is in fact the correct answer choice. Noise usually means unwanted sounds which interfere with genuine information. Okay, so noise interferes with genuine information. It can really affect the way in which the transmission of information happens. Next sentence is, information theory generalizes this idea via theorems that capture the effects of noise with mathematical precision. In particular, Shannon showed that noise sets a limit on the rate at which information can pass along communication channels while remaining error-free. So basically, what this is saying is that noise affects the transmission of information. What factors affect the transmission of information? What are the factors? Noise, unwanted sounds. So D is going to be the answer for question number 27. Let us move on to the next paragraph, E. Not really sure about that one. Let me come back to my questions here. So I'm looking now for only two things. There are only two questions left. I'm looking for how unnecessary information can be removed. That's the first piece of information we're looking for. The second piece of information I'm looking for is a machine that can interpret incomplete information. So let's see if we can find that. We only have two paragraphs left, E and F, so it should be pretty easy for us to narrow that down. Let's see. I'm not sure about this. It seems to be talking about a machine, as in it's talking about the Voyager spacecraft, and it's talking about the different machinery used in the Voyager spacecraft. But let me just skip that for now. I'm going to skip E for now. I'm just going to come down to F, and then I should be able to answer this by process of elimination. Here we go. Let's scan paragraph F. Okay, so here we have the word redundant. Redundant means that something that is repeated. So usually something that is repeated is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So that is synonym language. Question number 28 is asking us for an example of how unnecessary information can be removed. So it seems to be talking about this. Let's go ahead and read this sentence just to confirm. Shannon also laid the foundations of more efficient ways of storing information by stripping out superfluous or redundant bits from data which contributed little real information. As mobile phone text messages like "I can see you" show, it is often possible to leave out a lot of data without losing much meaning. Okay, so it's talking about how we can still understand this message. I mean, it's not spelled out like "I can see you," but still we can figure that out by looking at these letters, what the message is. So it's saying that we can basically get rid of unnecessary information. We don't really need every bit of information. So it's talking about an example of how unnecessary information can be omitted. It can be removed. We don't need it. So F is going to be the correct answer for question number 28. And since we only have one paragraph left now, that has to be E for question number 30. So question number 30 has to be E. It's talking about details of a machine capable of interpreting incomplete information. Let's just go ahead and double check that anyway. We are looking for something related to a machine. It's talking about technological feats. Maybe something there. Here is talking about an error detecting system that could be synonym language for machines. Lasers is talking about lasers also. It's a sort of machinery. Yeah, it seems to be talking about that somewhere around here. Let's just go ahead and read this sentence. It says, other codes have become part of everyday life, such as the Universal Product Code or barcode, which uses a simple error detecting system that ensures supermarket checkout lasers can read the price even on, say, a crumpled bag of crisps. Now see, that was tricky, guys. It's talking about how these lasers, this machinery, can read information, which is the price. It can read information even on a crumpled bag of crisps. Or in other words, it can read information even when it's not completely available. Okay, like a crumpled bag of crisps. If a bag of crisps is crumpled up, that means that the barcode is not entirely visible because the barcode will also be kind of crumpled up. So the information will be incomplete, right? But regardless of that incomplete information, the lasers can still read that information, which in this case is the price. So that was that was tricky. Used very high level synonym language there, but that is the correct answer for question number 30. It's talking about details of a machine, a laser, that is capable of interpreting incomplete information. Incomplete information as in, for example, on a crumpled bag of crisps. Okay, that is incomplete information. So the laser can still read it, even though it's incomplete. So I hope all of that makes sense for you. I hope you now have a good understanding of how to answer these paragraph location questions. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how to answer the next type of question. I'll see you there.